Hello, everyone out there viewing, and welcome to Black Space Live. I am your host, the Lamar, Finley. We're gonna have a good show for you tonight. We're gonna have a great conversation tonight. So sit back, relax, enjoy the conversation. But before we get started, listen, I just need one little favor. It's simple and it's free. My favorite price is free $99. Go ahead and like us and share. Share this beautiful content. Don't be selfish. Do not be selfish. Share this beautiful content and subscribe to our amazing channel. So tonight's conversation, we're going to talk about T.DJakes and the backlash he received. He asked the question, he said, we're raising our women to be men. And so tonight's question is, are we raising our women to be men? So T.DJakes gave a sermon, I believe it was on Father's Day. He gave a sermon entitled Men Pour In. And as typical with people, they took a snippet of the sermon in which he said, we're raising our women to be men. He said, and I quote, I don't care if you have your own house. I don't care if you have your own car. I'm going to tear up the quote. I rather wish I could just play the video. But long story short, he's basically saying, give us something, you wonder why, we kind of move around, we don't stick around. And so this caused a huge firestorm on the internets and the Twitterverse. Madame Noir wrote an article kind of jumping on T.DJakes. And so that's what we're gonna have a conversation about tonight. What are your opinions? And again, you can always join us in the conversation. Those of you watching us on YouTube, so join in the chat. And I'll read some of those responses live as they come in. But I'm not here to talk by myself. I brought two lovely ladies with me. One's had a little bit of technical difficulties, but her voice is here, and she is here in spirit. The lovely China, as well as the lovely Erica. So Erica, welcome to Black Space Live.
Well, thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Erica.
Well, I live here in hot Atlanta. I'm Erica, AKA 45 and Dating. I'm just here. I want to stir up the conversation, make some things happen. I'm from San Diego, California, but my new home is Atlanta. Let's get into
San Diego. You left San Diego for Atlanta?
Well, at the time, the cost of living was cheaper, but now we equal. So it don't matter. It don't matter now. I'm here now.
This latest housing craze kind of took things way out of whack. But anyway, welcome to the conversation. And also joining us with a little bit of technical difficulties is I'm gonna tell you, I see her picture. She's a beautiful woman. Welcome, China.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. My first time, but I got a lot to say. So I am from Mississippi, but Dallas is home now. So
Dallas. Okay, so I ain't gonna jump on you because that's might be an upgrade, even though I don't really care for Mississippi or Texas.
See, okay, I thought we were gonna be friends here, okay?
You I got to come out swinging a little bit now. I gotta set the tone.
It's all good.
So it's all good. So yeah, welcome, ladies. So T.DJakes caused a stir with the sermon, and I actually listened to the entire sermon. I don't get into the habit of listening to snippets. I want to hear the entire message. And it was a Father's Day message. I believe it was a Father's Day message. He was talking to men. And if you continue to listen to the message, he kind of went a little deeper. But the ladies just kind of exploded. So we're just going to jump right in it. Erica, so first of all, you ladies you got to hear what the snippet, right?
I did.
Yes.
I did.
Okay, so Erica, we're going to jump right into it. What are your thoughts?
Well, for me, being a single mother, I had to put my pants on and do all the independent duties. And it made me kind of harder to the point where I got a lot of judgment from other men because they felt like I was being too tough. My attitude, the way I carried myself, but I had no choice. I mean, I had 3 children, I had 2 boys and a girl. So I had to, be this hardcore person, but then I noticed that it was scaring some men off because they were scared of me. And
you think they were scared?
Well, intimidated.
You think they were intimidated?
I did. I was told.
Men said I'm intimidated by you?
But that was the old, but I can resonate because that was the old me. I had to I kind of like had to grow up out of that. There's nothing wrong with being independent. I'm not knocking any of that. But when you get to the point and you're screaming, I'm independent, hear me roar, and I don't need a man for nothing, then there's a breakdown, because I don't want to have to do everything on my own. But when I start walking around like I'm independent, got my own house, own car, all that extra, that's great and everything. But you want to have that man with you also. You got to have both worlds. That's just my thought. You know, some women I know, they are like that. They'll say in a minute, I don't need you for nothing. I can pay for this. I can pay for that. Well, that's great. You can do those things. But you want to do it all by yourself forever? You know, I was told once that I would have a whole bunch of dogs and cats, you know, because of my attitude. But that was like my younger years. Now in my 40s, I've changed. I've grown from that, you know, hence the name 45 and dating. You know, you have to grow into yourself. But some women, that's all they know. That's what they were taught. They were bred that way.
Okay, China, your thoughts?
So I don't have children, but I am a single Black woman, 32. I'm out here getting it. I'm out here doing my thing, but that still doesn't mean that I want to do it all alone. So even though I listen to more than just a snippet, but I agree with him in some instances. I really do, because we have to be strong. Black women, we are supposed to be strong. That's how we're looked at, right? And unless you get out there and get it on your own, you won't have it. Because a lot of us we did not have that man at home. We did not have that man in our lives. So you have to go out there and get it. So yeah, I agree with him on a lot of that.
So when you say have to be strong, what does that mean, have to be strong? Because a lot of times when I hear women saying I have to be strong, it's in respect to kind of, you know, dealing, a lot of moms say, right, I got to be strong. Well, of course, you got to be mama bear to protect your cubs. But when with respect to dating and mating, you know, or, you know, what does that mean, have to be strong, China?
So when someone asks me, what does it mean for me to be strong? And I say that I have to be strong because I'm not afforded to be vulnerable all of the time. It's a hard game out here. It's a tough game out here. And if you show any kind of weaknesses, a lot of people will use that against you, especially in the dating world. So when you're mentioning strong or strength, we all have to possess that, men, women, and that's just really a part of life, because it will eat you up and spit it back out.
So you said that you got to be strong with respect to dating. You mean, so are you saying that men are you saying we're predatory? You need to protect yourself from us? Are you dealing with us in good faith? I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
You said that you have to be strong. Are you saying that men are predatory? Are you saying that we, you know?
No, I don't deal with those.
Well, when I hear strong, that's what I hear, right? So because it sounds like it's a you're out here wrestling, right? It sounds like you're out here fighting, because you got to be strong, because you got to be able to survive this, you know, this crazy game. And keep in mind, I'm speaking with respect to dating.
Absolutely.
Specifically.
So as far as dating, you can't, like I said, you just can't show any weaknesses. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to be vulnerable. I want to let a man come in and show me that he can lead, show me that he can provide, show me that he can take care of this household that we want to have eventually. But like I said, you know, I am in that age. I'm 32. So, you know, give or take a few years, what I've witnessed just in the dating scene here in Dallas and as well as back home, if you don't show any kind of strengthness about yourself, you will be taken advantage of. And, you know, of course, we all want to be vulnerable. We want to lay our cards on the table. But until you show me that you can come in and, you know, as far as dating, if you can come in, lead, show me that you know how to run your own thing, then I have no choice but to be strong. Have no choice. Can't show weaknesses.
Erica looked like a little bit like you're chiming at the bit a little bit. Her response is, what say you?
I totally understand. Okay, I'm 45 and dating. I've been on this serial dating. I've had the highs, the lows, all of that. But I had to be more soft when it comes to, going on dates. Because a lot of men, they tend to go out their way. And I'm very particular. I don't just go on any type of dates. I'm very cautious. But sometimes if we're too strong, we scare them off. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. You carry yourself however you want to carry. But sometimes I like to see what will happen if I need, like, oh, something's wrong with my light on my car. Oh, can you check my tires for me? Like simple things like that. Or even if a man, like a lot of men here are from the South, from what I've met, and they are very open the doors. I tell you, I've been on some wild dates, and a lot of things that have been done for me, gifts and all these great things that I don't ask for any of this, but because of they told me I'm very inviting. The conversation I hold with them, I'm very transparent. I don't, put up that wall. Because sometimes when we tend to put up a wall, that man is not going to be able to see exactly what you need. Or because when you're too strong, they can't get past that wall. That's just me. I've done that before. I've been strong and I'm single like a dollar bill. Break down my wall, get into my weakness, see what I need. And some men, they'll be like, well, what's going on with you? Like you seem not yourself. When a man can tell something is wrong, that wall is being broken slowly but surely. Yes, you can protect yourself, but if you do it too much, that person's not going to be able to ever to get in, see what's going on with you. Have that conversation, or even be comfortable to have that conversation with you, because they feel that you're going to always be strong and you ain't going to never need anything. But that's just me. Those are my thoughts. We all work, differently. But I guess because I've been on this joyride, having multiple conversations, hearing thoughts, communicating with different people, different likes of people. It's been crazy just to get the feedback and the understanding what men are looking for, or what women are looking for. But, everybody does things differently. I don't want to be, it's whatever.
That's fair. So I want to read some of the comments, because the comments are already starting to kind of pour in here. So Mama Bear says, just does not mean you can't be feminine just because you're raising kids. She says, be feminine and graceful. The right man will gravitate to you. Stop with all that I'm strong gibberish. Men don't care about that. I read that strategically because, so you said earlier that men are intimidated. So as a man, as a man,
Okay.
it's not intimidation. It's that we don't want to deal with that masculine attitude. A lot of women that are successful, and I understand the navigating corporate America, right? I get it. You got to get out there and get your money, and I get it. So you got to be, in order to compete in quote unquote man's world, you got to be masculine. I get it, but can you code switch and turn it off? Right? Can you give me room to show you where I am necessary? Right? Because I date a lot of women, I got my own house, I got my own car, which I've always found to be funny that women brag about essentially being what I call responsible adults. Right. I never understood that bragging. That's like me bragging about, I can go to the bathroom all by myself and tie my shoes. You should be able to do that. But that bravado, it's like, if you're trying to negotiate a relationship or a marriage, where do I fit in there? What do I fit in? So it's kind of like, I'm not intimidated. It's like, I don't necessarily want to deal with that. China, I can't see your facial expression, so I'm just gonna have to cue you in. What are your thoughts on whatever? What are your thoughts?
So a lot of people may take that in a negative light. If a woman say, oh, she's strong, or she's taking care of business, that's number one, that's adulting, right? That's a part of adulting. But just because a woman mentions that she's strong, or it doesn't mean that she's not living in her femininity. It's a lot of times it's just taken negatively. I'm still a woman. I still want that man beside me. I still want someone to walk through this thing called life with. That doesn't mean that that's going to take away from my what I can contribute to any relationship. So
you said that what's taken very negatively.
I know one of the lady mentioned that not to be bringing strength or being strong into conversations. I believe that's what she said when you read the comment.
Yeah, she said, be feminine and graceful. The right man will gravitate toward you. Start with all that I'm strong gibberish. Men don't care about that.
And that's what I don't agree with. No one wants anyone that you can just walk all over. And dating in 2022, it's not easy. Just being honest with you, it's not easy. A lot of people look at me and they say, oh, wow, you're 32, you don't have kids, this or that. Guys should be knocking at your door. I'm not saying that they're not, but that doesn't mean that the right guy that I'm looking for is at my door. But people always take my stats and turn it into something negative. And that's what I don't understand.
Well,
men and women alike. Men and women alike.
So this is where women say that strength is viewed as negatively, right? Do you consider what are men attracted to? And I don't think, especially in the Black community, I don't really think we take time to understand men in general, right? In any community, because I think our society is extraordinarily feminine, but I think specifically in our community, we really don't understand what attracts men to women, right? And even in T.DJakes' sermon, he said that men pour in. Give me something to pour into, right? I need to give you something to multiply. I need to find a need to fit into, right? We show love differently. Y'all see love as love. Men see respect as love, right? And so that strength, why is it necessary? We don't need two strong men in the house, because when you have two strong men in the house, they're going to wrestle. And so why is femininity viewed as being weak and being walked over? China?
I'm sorry, I can't see you guys, so I didn't know you were addressing it to me.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's open to either one of you ladies. Why is being feminine and submissive viewed as being walked over? Why is that?
So I'm going to answer the first part, that what I think a man is looking for. You said, what are men looking for in a woman? They want someone that's feminine. They want someone that's gentle and kind, someone who can come in and make their house a home. I do believe that's what men are looking for. Can I still provide all of that while being a strong Black woman? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think someone, they use the word, or they associate weakness with being a feminine woman. Absolutely not. That's ludicrous. It's crazy. At the end of the day, I still want a man right there beside me. So I don't understand why they associate that with being weak. I really don't.
And to get back to your earlier comment about, you're 32, no children, you said people look at it as a negative, because, the reality is, if you're looking to be married and coupled, right? Then in most communities, you would have been married and coupled with children by now, right? And so in our community, it's almost looked at as a bad thing if you marry younger, right? And so other communities, and I would agree, what has been the barrier up to this point? And I want to say, it's got to be the right man. Well, of course, just like with the man, it's got to be the right woman. But I would argue that we're not promoting, we're not teaching, and we're definitely not demonstrating, good coupling, and we're not promoting marriage in our community specifically. Erica.
Yes. Well, for me, I was married at 20 years old. My oldest is 25, my youngest is 21. So I started early. I didn't get to live life like a normal person would live, married at a young age, married for 16 years, and things didn't work out. Moving forward, when it comes to the dating world, Men don't look for a woman that's strong walking around. And when I say intimidating, I mean the way I carry myself. Because let me tell you, baby, when I walk into a room, all eyes are on me because I have that walk. I have that confidence. And some men have told me is the way you dress. I feel that my pockets are not ready for all of that. Or your conversation. I don't know if I can stay on that same playing field. And I'd be so confused behind that because at the end of the day, it's about getting to know someone. It shouldn't be about what they pockets have or, you know, how they are dressed or whatever the case may be. But they say I'm intimidating. I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm the nicest person that someone can know. I can hold a great conversation. You know, for me, you know, my background, I'm in the banking industry. I also have 2 businesses. I'm a hustler. I have been a hustler since I was 16 years old, but I don't tell people that. I keep a lot of that to myself because I want someone to get to know me, not what I have, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything because that can be gone tomorrow. And I've always thought that way because I've lost stuff like that, you know, where I had all the oohs, the ahs, the this and that, and you wake up one day, it's gone, you know. It's about conversation and communicating. I noticed since I moved here, a lot of men had to tell me, you know, they had a car or they have a house or they have all these materialistic things. And then I asked them, I said, well, how much debt you have? Where's your debt income ratio? Let's talk about those type of things. Where do you see yourself in the future? You know, when I start asking these questions, then they get lost in the sauce. Then I start scaring them because I didn't stir the pot up. And it's vice versa. I've heard women's conversations where they tell me they got all these things and all this money. And I'm like, but what does that even mean? What does that translate to? How does that make you a person? Like, I don't understand that because I'm not materialistic. Yes, I do like nice things, but I don't boast and brag about it because that doesn't make me. It's about getting to know my heart, my mind, you know, my soul, all those things, you know, then we can have that conversation. But the whole strength and the whole hear I'm woman, hear me roar, that gets old. And what I can say when it comes to corporate world, working, income, yes, it is hard. It is hard for a female, especially a Black woman, because we're always the ones saying that we complain, head gestures, hands. I can't even keep my hands still. You know, all these things. We're the angry Black woman when we have an opinion, you know, or when we're sad or, you know, like something is bothering us. We're just the big bad wolves. We're just like anybody else, but we express ourselves a lot more. We're animated. I call us animated because we express a lot. And some men, we scare them off with that because they can't accept it. They don't understand that, yes, I use my hands, but I'm not trying to fight you. I talk with my hands or I move my body motion because I am an emotional creature. This is just me. But it has nothing to do with being intimidating or strong, or we want to work like everybody else. We want to hustle like everybody else. But sometimes we got to keep some of the information to ourselves. So I keep a lot of that to myself so a man won't think, well, shit, she don't need me. Excuse my language. She doesn't need anything from me.
And that's what Jakes was saying, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he caught hell, right? Madame Noir wrote this whole article about him, and then of course I don't know why I did it, but I took to the Twitterverse to read some of the comments. And yes, I, like a fool, I jumped into the comments, and in between being called a misogynist, and told that I hate Black women specifically, I just kind of shook my head. So 40-plus-year-old Erica realized that
45 and dating. Yes.
Did 30-year-old Erica believe that, or did 30-year-old Erica lead with, as I called it, the resume?
I was angry. I was angry then. You know, I was all about, you know, I had to make sure my kids were good. I had to make sure I was good. I didn't have time for no man. No man could do anything for me. I had all that before. That's why when I look and I talk to my friends a lot of my friends are younger than me. And when we have these conversations, a lot of them are angry. And I'd be like, oh, y'all some angry Black women. Come on now, let's get this together. Let's laugh. Let's enjoy life. Life is too short. And you know, after going this pandemic, losing people, you know, you really have to, if you haven't changed, I don't know what to tell you. If you are living your life where you're angry every day, getting up mad every day, oh my God, it's Monday, I got to go to work, people complaining, you better be happy you got a job. That's just me. Those are my thoughts. But yes, in my 30s, I was angry. Hell, after my divorce, 2015, let me tell you, them people used to call me every name in the book. My girlfriends back home will tell you, I called every name in the book. I used to fight dudes. That's how angry I was. But I was angry with myself because I wasn't loving on myself. And I had to grow into that. I went through a lot of different trials to get where I'm at right now. I'm at peace. I'm a very peaceful person. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to make me mad. And when I'm mad, you ain't gonna like me. But it takes a lot for me to get to that point. I'm a fixer now. I try to fix situations. My situations. I can't fix other people's. I can only fix my own. But that's just me.
Okay, so I can appreciate the self-awareness at this stage of the game, but you said that Black women are expressive and they talk with their hands, but they also embrace that angry Black woman. They embrace it. It's in our media. I mean, it's in our media. I'm talking about Black women's media. It's in their media. They kind of embrace it.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's all over the TV. It's stuck on reality TV. Yes, we all watch reality TV. I'm hip to it too.
You're in Atlanta. You're in Atlanta. You're in Atlanta, right?
But even back in Cali, I would watch.
I'm just saying. You're in Atlanta, right? Who is the most popular character on Real Houses of Atlanta? Come on.
Oh, what, Nene? And
yes. Nene is the most popular, and we know
she is.
Right. And why? Because Nene is that archetype of the aggressive, angry Black woman.
Some women look up to her. Some people, they look up to her, because they look at her as a role model. And that's okay. You know what? I like Nene. I get into it, but there's a time to turn it off. No, but listen. But there's a time to turn it off. You can't always be like that. Sometimes it might be for the cameras, but sometimes you got them layers. She's like an onion. She needs to be peeled. You know what I'm saying? Trying to compete with all these different women. That's the issue I had here. Moving here, man, these women here are very vindictive. They're jealous. They say mean things. I had things been said to me, and I'm just looking at them like, really? That's how you really feel about me? I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm a city girl from Cali. We're very cool, relaxed people. I don't have to be amongst I call them the mean girls. I gave them the mean girl name because they're mean girls. I don't understand why they're so angry. And even like a person like me, I'm different. I've been told, someone has stopped me on the street and said, "You're not from here." I said, "I know I'm not." They was like, "Well, the way you carry yourself." I was like, "Okay. And your point, what? What? Because I'm not walking around here mad? I'm from Cali. We're cool individuals. I don't have to be angry like a lot of these women are. Unfortunately, they are here in Atlanta. It's kind of sad to me, but there's nothing I can do about that. That's why I stay in my own little bubble."
So I want to let China, I'm just gonna kind of jump in as you want, because obviously we can't see each other. I don't know if you're over there giving me the evil eye or the stink eye. You be holding your middle finger probably. I don't know. So you can just kind of jump in as you please. Erica, a couple of points, and then let China jump in. So Erica, you talk about how it's for the cameras, but my point is that our women embrace it. They embrace it. One of the things I hate from that show, and I tell women all the time, never say to me, "I said what I said." Never say those words to me, ever. Yeah. Because I'm not your child, and I don't care if you said what you said. We're adults. I don't have to adhere to, you're not the final authority. But if you said you had to deal with the mean girls, Erica, imagine dating those women. But go ahead, China, jump in. Your thoughts.
I feel your pain.
And then I have a question. For y'all. But go ahead, China.
Okay, so I honestly can't comment on Real Housewives of Atlanta, of New York, basketball wise. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't watch it. And the reason why I don't watch it, I've heard of Nene, and of course I know Candy, but I can't name you one more character that's on those shows or person. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be real. But the reason why I don't watch this stuff is because it feeds into everything that we're here talking about right now. You know, Black women have attitudes. Black women are angry. Don't get me wrong, there are some of them out there. Some of them are out there, but not all of us are walking around mad at the world. You know, and that's one reason why I just don't watch stuff like that. But I definitely can relate because just we're all human, right? I have my moments, but I know how to turn it off and I know how to turn it on as well. So that's what I got to say about that part.
Just so you know, China, I can hear that Mississippi when you talk. I can hear it. I can hear that Mississippi.
I'm glad you can. I'm glad you can.
And I would say I didn't know that there was dating Mississippi, but I used to date a detective from Mississippi a few years ago. But that's neither here nor there. So
we breed good people. We breed good people.
Yeah, I know some wonderful people. My mother was born in Mississippi, so I guess y'all breed some halfway decent people. My mom was she's a pretty dope woman. I mean,
halfway.
She dope.
She was dope. Stop playing your mom.
She birthed a pretty dope son. So I think she's pretty dope. So back to the chat. Mama Bear asked the question. So, ladies, why do you think that you're still single? Question for both ladies. China, you first.
Oh my goodness. I get that question all of the time. And honestly,
well, before you answer that question, let me ask you a question. Do you want to be married?
I do desire to be married.
Okay, now you can answer the question.
Okay. 32-year-old China and let's just say 30-year-old China. I've grown so much and you have to take accountability for yourself. And when I look into the mirror, I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, I've known you guys for the last, 40 minutes or so. But when I look into a mirror, I personally find it hard, not just visually. I find it hard that I am single because let me tell you, when I love hard. If I care about you, you're going to know that I care about you. You're not going to second guess, oh, is she feeling me? Are we vibing? Am I enjoying her? Is she enjoying me? You're going to know. I'm going to let you know. So when I get that question, my honest answer is always, I honestly don't know. I'm not a man, so I'm not dating me. The only thing that I can tell someone that, you know, if I go on a date and it goes to the second date or the third date, I'm not worried about what all you're bringing to the table at that moment. What I'm worried about is, am I enjoying this date? Am I enjoying the conversation? Am I feeling the vibe? That's what I'm looking for when I am out there dating. So honestly, at this moment, I can't tell you why I'm single. That's a hard question. It really is because I'm pretty dope. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm pretty dope. I'm chill. I'm cool. I can be that homie lover friend. I cook. I clean. I know how to. I keep home. You know, I keep a house. No, I really don't understand why I'm still single. That's TBA.
So I would assume you're able to attract men for dates, right?
So when I'm out and about, people do approach me. I have been told that I do look younger than my age. The last month, 3 guys, well into only 23, 24, 25 have been approaching me. I don't have any problems attracting guys, but it's the guy that I'm still young, 32. That's not, too old or anything like that. But I still want a man. So I don't have a problem attracting guys, but it's the younger ones that tend to approach me.
Older guys don't. I mean, older guys like younger women too now.
Yeah, older and I had one of those. I had one of those, and he was a ho. I'm sorry.
So
I'm gonna be honest with you.
So okay, so I hear that, and then I'll only pick on you for just a second. Hold on, y'all. Excuse me for a moment. There we go. So I'm gonna dig into that. I'm gonna kind of dig into that. Then we'll kind of circle back. But the guy that was a ho as you called him, right? I'm sure he was a handsome guy, right?
Yes, he was.
Of course. Okay. Was he a taller guy?
He was not too tall, but neither am I. So
Okay. Over 6 feet, under 6 feet?
under.
Oh, okay. Income range. You don't gotta tell me what he made, but give me his range. Where would he fit on the scale, income wise?
He's a physician.
Oh, okay. So that changes the dynamic. So that changes a huge dynamic, right?
Yes.
And my last question for you, then I want to get into to Erica. When you date, are you dating intentionally, or you just kind of the words that I avoid at all costs is going with the flow?
Oh no, I date with intentions. You know, I don't have children, and I do desire to be married. I do want to have children one day. So I'm not out here just having fun. You know, a lot of my friends, they have kids, theirs are out of the way. So they can be out here having fun and just going with the flow. But I don't have time for that, honestly. So I let my intentions be known up front. Now, I'm not giving you A to Z, everything that I want, need, looking for in a man on the first date. That's going to come with time, and you're going to actually learn those things from spending time with someone and things like that. But no, dating is I really find it difficult, especially because, especially online dating, right? People are just swiping left and swiping right just for the heck of things, and they're not willing to put in work for it. That's what I've been seeing as well.
So, and I'm gonna give me just one moment, Eric. I got another question.
You're
For
good.
China. So your requirements for a guy, right? Because we certainly have our requirements, right?
Yes.
This guy was a physician. He's obviously in the top, maybe even 5% of earners. I don't know where, but he's definitely in the top 10% of earners with respect to men. Are you looking for a guy in that bracket? Does that matter? Are you more morally driven? What are your main requirements with respect to for a man that's going to marry China?
Okay. Number one, you're going to treat me very well because I'm going to treat you well. I don't care about money. The guy that we are speaking of, I had no idea he was a doctor until about 45 minutes into our conversation, because it didn't serve a purpose for it to come up so soon, right? Actually, when I found out he was a doctor, my interest actually went down. I was like, oh Lord, this man out here, he fine, he a doctor, he got money. Do I want to be on the team? I don't want to be on the roster. So my interest actually went down when he told me, but the conversation led to us exchanging numbers, and we went from there. But no, I don't care about status. I'm a country girl. You know, how you treat me, how you treat your mama, how do you treat your family? That's what I look at. How are you as a person?
Some country girls like status too. Now,
Not this
I'm
one.
down. I'm down here in the mix. Some country girls like status too. But I'm gonna stop swinging at you for just a moment. Erica, same question. Why do you think you're still single?
I'm recently single. Number one, I was engaged.
What's recently?
Recently, let's see here, May recently.
So you said, and you were engaged.
I was engaged. I was.
So
I moved
Erica,
here for him.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick what you say. China says she's 32. She can't find one. You done been married and engaged. You just throwing him back into the water, and she can't.
I didn't throw. He threw himself back in the water, sir.
I'm listening.
Moving here was life-changing for me because I left everything I had in Cali. I moved here for him, and he had a whole lifestyle here, a whole life here. And when I got here, I didn't understand his movement. Then I started paying attention, and then I started looking. It's because he was a ladies' man, because, recently retired, living here, he got acclimated to Hotlanta, honey. So he was here prior, enjoying life, and then I came and rained on his parade. And you give people opportunity to fix a situation, and then it just, once the trust is gone, it's gone. And for me, I tried, and I kept getting hit in the face, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I decided to remove myself. I removed myself, then gave him back another opportunity, and look where I'm at again. I'm single. Okay. You got me once, you got me twice, but you ain't gonna give me a third time. And once I became single, I decided, you know what? I never really got to enjoy my life. Let's kick off 45 and dating. And I just got online dating. Oof, the adventures online. Oh my God. Checks me out on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It's crazy, the stuff that has happened to me, but it's an experience. I know what I want and I know what I don't want. I'm very transparent. I have been on dates where guys treat me like a queen. They take me to all kinds of places. We have great conversation. I've been told that I'm about to be taken off the market. I've been proposed to. It has been wild, but because I'm very open, I'm a very open person and I'm very inviting. And I ask some men, is it a problem that I'm a serial dater? And they tell me no, because I'm honest. I'm honest about it. They know I go on average dates. I just don't have sex, with these guys, because I feel like when you start giving yourself to all these different people, it gets a little bit too crazy. I deal with one, that's the safest way to do it. I have been approached by young guys. They be on my bumper, baby, honey. And I take it. And I even got the older guys. But some of the older guys get on my nerves. Because maybe I'm 45. But if somebody's older than me, some of them are stuck in their ways. Just like China said, play a player from the Himalaya. They be playing these games. And then they think you're going to run and chase them. I don't chase nobody. I don't have time for that. But in the long run, I am dating for a purpose. My purpose is to be married again. I would love to be married again because I'm a different person now. Man, it will be just so amazing. See the glow on my face? I'm so ready for it. And when that right person comes, I will take it in. It's just been it's been wild. It's really been wild for me. All the things that have happened over the past month or so. But I want to get married again. I do. And like I tell people, there's no time on love. If I met that right person and if I fall in love with him and if he said, let's run away and get married, I am out. You will see me with a whole new last name. But that's just me, because I don't have nothing to lose. Because I'm at the point.
So I asked this question about this question about practicality, right? I hear women, when they give now in the general conversation, women have a much different response with respect to what they want from a man versus these more intimate conversations. I will admit, it's an entirely different conversation. The general consensus is women tend to want a guy in a certain income bracket. They tend to want a guy in a certain height. And of course, Black women specifically prioritize looks. Y'all prioritize looks on a much higher scale than any other race of women on the planet. Most other women are looking for, is he going to be a decent father? What type of provider is he first? And then if he happens to be a handsome guy, so be it. That's what they tend to prioritize. And I think our women know is he fine first? And then, okay, is he fine with the money? Then, we'll worry about those things. And I think that gets y'all in trouble a lot of times, more times than not. But I always ask this question: how practical are you with respect to dating, right? So you have these simple requirements. And I'm going to tie this back into what T.DJakes was saying. You have these simple requirements, right? But how practical are you? So Erica, you're in probably the hardest or the second hardest dating market. I think LA is the hardest for women because there's just supermodels walking all over LA, the West Coast. But Atlanta, especially as a Black women outnumber men in Atlanta. So is it 18-1 or almost 20-1? And so it literally is, and I know you say you don't chase, but it is literally a dogfight in Atlanta, especially if a guy's decent looking. So I can understand And I'm not justifying, I'm just simply giving you the weather report, right? I'm not saying lightning and thunder is a good thing. I'm just simply telling you it's lightning and thunder. So in Atlanta, you are in the black. I've been to Atlanta many times, many times. One reason I won't move there because I desire to settle down, but and I don't know that I could deal with that type of, as a single man, that type of temptation would be too hard. I'm being honest.
No, it's true. It's a lot.
I earn a decent living. I think I'm a halfway decent looking guy. So I think I would be a playground in Atlanta. So practically, how do you navigate otherwise in that environment without getting into that fight?
I had a situation happen to me. Someone had introduced me to somebody, very nice looking gentleman. He was younger than me. And a person that was with me felt that was their type of person. Like I couldn't pull that type of person. And I'm like, honey, let me tell you, I can pull any type of man if I want to, but it's the way you carry yourself in your conversation to keep that person in tune with you. A lot of these women think it's because of their physical, these, breasts and butt and all that stuff.
Men we likes the breasts and the butts.
Right. No. But a lot of ladies go up under the knife to have that stuff done. Know what I'm saying?
But those ladies aren't getting wiped though. They're not getting wiped. That's just sex. They're getting sex. They're not.
That's what I've been told. I have been told that was told to me recently, and I was like, wow. But I get a lot of men that are attracted to me that have conversation. They say that I'm a nice looking black woman. I've never been complimented the way I get complimented here. I never got that back home. Back home, no, ain't no man, because they're not looking at us black girls. But here, a man will tell me you're beautiful, your skin complexion, your eyes. Like I had a man stare at me because he couldn't believe my eyes were light brown. They're not dark brown. I was just like, well, damn, you looking through my soul, but I don't know. There are some competing here because you do have the light-skinned, dark-skinned situation with women, whatever. Then you have global. It's all over. But then you have the chocolate girl against the other chocolate girl because she has the perfect eyes, the perfect nose, the perfect lips. Then you have this black girl with the eyes, but the bigger nose, the bigger lips, but some men aren't. It's just vice versa what man is looking for. I haven't had to be in no dog fights or anything like that. My phone blows up like anybody else's. I get asked to go on a date. I get asked to be taken places to be seen, to be their arm candy, and I don't have an issue with any of that, but I'm looking for more of a substance. I don't really look at someone's pockets or what they have. I look at how they carry themselves. If they have children, how are they as a father? Because I have 3 kids. My kids are older, but my kids will hold a conversation. They will get inside your head to see what type of person you are, and how are you with your finances? If you are taking care of your bills and if you ain't got people knocking down on your door and you're being responsible, I can handle that. I can handle all those different things. I adapt well. But when I see a person that can't take care of their finances or take care of the way they live, how they keep their home, is it clean? How is your bathroom? You look at all those things, are they tailored? How's their hair? How's their nails? Is their shoes dirty? I look at all those different things, and I'm like,
so he could be a decent guy, right? Mm-hmm. He can work with his hands.
Oh yeah, he can get dirty, honey.
Right, and so I'm just saying, you would eliminate him on.
I'm saying, let's say we're going on a date, okay? Let's say you're meeting me for the first time. Your first impression is everything. I've had a guy meet me, and his hands were dirty. He wasn't just coming from work. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, I get what you're saying. We're here to eat. Your hands are not clean. Now, I have dated a guy where he just got off of work. He is a little grimy. Ain't nothing wrong with a little dirt. You know what I'm saying? Let me help you wash you up real quick. Let me get you together. I have no problem with that. But it's just how a person carries himself. Just like when a person looks at a woman, things we get picked on. Do they got corns on their feet? How are their toes looking? How are their hands looking? Do they smell clean? How's your hair? Men look at women the same exact way as women look at men. But I'm not so critical. I'm not critical when it comes to a person's pocket. I'm just not that way.
I would say they're the exception, not the rule. So China.
Yes.
So she says she looks at a man's nails, his hands, are you, so you said money's not a requirement, right?
Correct.
If you're going to prioritize, create a priority list, where do looks rank on your priority list? And I ask this question. So if I have a guy he earns $60,000 a year, right? He's been same employee for the last 10 years. He keeps a job. He has decent credit, owns his, he's got his stuff together, but he's kind of stubby, but he's honest, goes to church, but he's short and stubby. Does he register on China's radar?
So, to be completely honest with you, looks are not that important to me. So with the example that you just gave, I'm not too tall, right? So you said short and stubby.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do anything about the height, but I keep myself together, baby. If I like you, if I'm feeling you, if I want to help you live a more healthier lifestyle, we can work out together. We can work on some of those things. You know what I mean? I'm at the stage where, so I have girlfriends. We're all single, around about the same age, all career driven women, all that good stuff. All that good stuff, right?
You just said it. I won't get on that. Go ahead. Continue.
No, I'm saying this for a point. So I have some girlfriends who will say, girl, I'm going out to dinner with this guy. I'm going to get me a meal. And because I cherish the friendship, I'm not going to really tell them everything that I think, because you're grown, you're going to do what you want to do, right?
You should tell them.
Well, once I express something one time, that's all I give you. You know what I mean? I'm not about to drill you down. You're an adult. If we had that girl talk, I'm like, hey, girl, you better stop worrying about that. And then if it comes back around, okay, now whatever you get, you deserve, right? So I don't go into dates worried about how much somebody made. That ain't none of my business, right? I don't really, at that point, at the early stages of dating, I could care less how you paying your bills, as long as you're doing it legally, right? And as far as how a guy looks, of course you have to find something attractive about someone if you're going to try to be with them, right? Nobody want just anybody just looks like they throw themselves together. But I still want somebody that I'm physically attractive to, but it could be their smile. It could be their teeth. It could be they got nice eyes. You can find something about someone without just, saying, okay, does he check off this, check off that, check off this. It doesn't require off that. That's just for me.
So you said something that triggered a response that's triggered me, right? So, and it gets back to the whole T.DJakes sermon. You said that your friends, and you said a lot of them are single, right?
Yes.
And you said they're career driven, correct?
Correct.
So T.DJakes, the thing that he said was, he says, and I'm paraphrasing here. He said, your pursuit in climbing the corporate ladder has given you gains in corporate America, but you sacrificed our families because our women don't prioritize marriage and family. They prioritize their careers first, and then they try to prioritize marriage. What are your thoughts on that?
Whoa, so I actually have had this conversation a few times over the last few weeks. So just to paint the picture, I have a niece. She is attending Alcorn State University, HBCU in Mississippi. And we were sitting around and I said, hey, have you found me a nephew yet? And her mom said, Don't be telling my 21-year-old daughter she need to be finding a man. Don't be telling her she need to be getting married. I said, well, if she's 21 now, you want to wait till she's 31? I don't understand why we can't multitask. I don't understand why we are telling our young girls, don't be worried about no boy. Don't be worried about no man. Go to school, get your education. Don't be worried about none of that. Yes, they need to be worried about all of that. They need to be worried about a good career. Where they going? Are they going to graduate? And they also need to be worrying about, okay, do I see this guy? Okay, no, he don't have a lot right now, but guess what? I don't have a lot right now. We all in school, we all broke, we all eating ramen noodles, but do I see potential right here? So I don't understand why we send our girls off and say, don't worry about boys, because they'll be sitting here 10 years later wondering why they didn't put that much importance into their dating life as they did their schooling.
You said something that's very interesting, and I totally agree. The whole multitasking. There's a saying that, white women go to college to get their MRS degree.
Yes.
And Black women go to college to get their degree.
Correct.
White women go to college to find a man, and Black women go to show that they don't need one. That's the part of the message that Jakes was saying. One of the areas that we struggle with, and our community struggles primarily, is because of the lack of the family foundation. I've given this example many times, this metaphor. So, in biology, you learn that the basic building block of human life is the cell, right? So if you have healthy cells, you in turn will have healthy tissues. If you have healthy tissues, you'll in turn have healthy organs. Healthy organs create healthy organisms, right? So healthy families, which are the basic building blocks of society, create healthy communities. Healthy communities create healthy cities, states, and so on and so forth. But particularly in the Black community, we're weak and we are suffering and we're failing because we don't have healthy families. And I know, the message is called misogynistic because it points at, the women specifically, but he does talk about men as well. But that piece of it is that, yes, our women are becoming more educated. Our women are becoming more successful, but it's coming to the detriment of the family, the family structure. Because as you get older, you move up in the educational, you move up in education, and then many of you move up in income. And so your requirements, because women as a whole are hypergamous by nature, right? So as you move up, you're gonna want a guy on your level or better. Most women want a guy better than their level, right? So, and I've struggled with this when when I was navigating the dating market, I struggled with that because I meet women that were unrealistic about their quote unquote level up. I met women that didn't make what I paid in taxes, but thought I was their equal, and that was unique to Black women, very unique to Black women, because I know white women that make mid six figures whose husbands teach, and they're fine with that, and those men are still the man of the house, et cetera, et cetera. But our community, there's an imbalance. If the education isn't equal, they don't look at our men as being equal. And even if the income is equal, they don't look at them as equal. The income has to be greater than, and so that's a huge issue. That's a very huge issue in our community. Go ahead, Erica. You look like you've been biting your tongue there for a minute.
I don't know, because what China said, that was me. I used to tell my children that. And maybe because I married at a young age and I didn't get to enjoy my life.
And I'm glad you asked that question. Because I was going to ask you. I'm glad you said, because I was going to ask you. You say you have 3 children.
My 3 children are 25, 22, and 21.
Boys, girls, boys.
2 boys and a girl. My daughter's in the middle.
What are you telling your daughter?
What I'm telling all 3 of them. I told my children, I want you to be financially stable. I want you to make sure your credit is good before you step into a situation. But that's just
Why?
I guess because I was in that situation. I was once there. Okay, let me scale it. I was once their age. you know, and having children young and having to struggle, you know, having 3 children, even though my ex-husband was, you know, prior military. And, you know, for me, I was still in college and I was working a part-time job. Then I had to stop, you know, I had to put my life on hold, you know, because I had kids back to back to back, you know, but then I did go back to school. I went into the dental field. And my ultimate goal was to be this registered dental assistant with extra functions. But then I got sick and I lost all those things. So when I look back at my past, I just want them to do things differently. Now, I love the fact that they're dating. My daughter just got married. She's 22. She did get married. I pray all is well with that situation. I never tell them anything negative. I let them learn on their own. Because sometimes when you tell children negative stuff, they tend to run the opposite way, hit the wall, and all kinds of stuff starts to happen. But I still tell them that I want them to be financially stable. I want them to do well in life. No one should have to struggle. Well, yes, you have to struggle to learn, but I don't want them to struggle to the point where they're on hard times. They're too young for that, in my eyes.
No, they're not too young for that.
Well, I mean, as learning, as children grow up and they learn, you know, but I just want them to do better. I want them to do better than what I did, because if I could do things differently, life for me would be different. I don't think I'll be in the situation that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say it that way, because I'm in a peaceful place now. I'm just saying, I just wish I would have done things a little bit differently. Yeah.
So let me push a little bit, right? And then I see we're kind of pushing on time, and we're gonna kind of get some final thoughts. But let me push back a little bit. I'm a big proponent of marriage, and I'm a big proponent of prioritizing marriage younger, because like I said, as you get older, it's a hard negotiation for women. Mm-hmm. Because as you move up, you're going to have more requirements. And let's be honest, women are less malleable as they get advanced in their careers, advanced in their education, and as they get older. And that's not a plus for men. You know, I know women are, it takes the right kind of man. Men choose the path of least resistance. You know, not all men want this battle, you know, to try to tame this woman to be his wife. He doesn't want that, right? He wants it to be more of a, you know, nice casual dance. So financial hardships, you know, unfortunately, people are ready to bail out because they run out of hard times. But if you're young and you navigate those waters together, a lot of people run into these hardships because they live beyond their means.
Yeah.
Well beyond their means. But if a young couple figures it out early and navigates those waters as a unit, then as you get older, if you run into that again, it's let's link up, put our backs to the wall, and figure this thing out. Whereas if you get people that are financially independent, older, if they hit those same waters, it's like, I'm out, I can make my own money on my own. Or is my favorite, I can do bad all by myself, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, because marriage it's a we, right? We're one. Right. We're not two, we're one. And so I encourage that. I encourage people to marry younger, because as women, your odds are increased as you're younger, they're decreased as you're older. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the odds do change as you get older. Men are a little bit on the inverse. Men, as you know, your typical man is going to work harder if he keeps himself together and he increases his resources, increases his chances as you go. Now there's an end date for men too, but you get what I'm saying. It's kind of a different game for men and different for women. So I always try to keep that in perspective. But I encourage people to get married younger. I encourage it, because if you can navigate those waters and you build together. You build together. So you got,
but not too young. I was 19 going on 20.
I mean, prior, we didn't. 30 years ago, 50 years ago, that wasn't a problem. Those couples stayed together because there was less. Right, but we don't do that anymore. We're so quick to, I'm out.
Jump ship.
What? Your breast stink today. I'm out.
It ain't nothing about. It's not nothing about breath stinking or anything like that. I don't know. When you're young and you don't get to experience life as you should, it takes a toll on everybody. You know, some I guess it depends on the mindset and the maturity level. Not everybody is on that level to, marry young and be in a committed relationship when you got, just like you said, I'm here in Atlanta. You got all these different things, coming, like for you, if you was there, all these different women, all these swarms of women are around you. It's hard for you to focus on that one person. But it takes the right person to make that choice, I guess for me and the experience that I had, I wish things were a little bit different, but it didn't work. I got 3 blessings. I got my 3 children, and that's all that matters, to me. I just want them to make great decisions. That's all. Just great decisions.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, China. I think I hear you over there. Go ahead.
Yes. And I totally understand exactly where Erica's coming from. But that saying, we all want what we don't have. Most of my friends and majority of my family, they all have their children. So they look at me and say, oh, girl, I wish I could be, 32, no kids, no man. Okay, sis, you're going to be over here by yourself alone, lonely, wishing you had someone to go to the movies with, wishing you had someone to take you out, wishing you had someone to get dressed up and get pretty for. And so by the time you were 32, you were done having your children. So I can definitely understand why you feel the way you feel. But then you look on the flip side, we have so many more Black women who don't have children in their early 30s because, of course, as he mentioned, we're working on our careers. We're climbing the corporate ladder and all that. Well, then when you look around, you're going to be 35 and your doctor's telling you, all right, sis, we need to be figuring out some things. So it's it just really depends on what position you're in. Because the one that I'm looking at right now, I'm thinking, oh, wow, my clock is ticking. I'll be 33 next year, still don't have a prospect. So that's where my mind is at right now. Because when I was younger and I was in college, people tell you, oh, go out there and live and do this. I wouldn't have missed a beat if I had a partner because we would have done it together. But
man, China, you need to teach class. You need to teach a class. That's an extraordinarily mature mindset, and I agree with you 1,000%. The only thing out here in the dating market when you're young is just sex and trauma.
That's it.
Sex and trauma. Somebody in the comments said it would be great if we could see China. She looked good. She looks good. All right, trust me. I can see her picture. But yeah, I love that mindset. Which is again, I'm surprised you haven't found a Mr. At this point. But I think that as you're prioritizing it, that should come to pass hopefully soon. If you keep that mindset, I think you'll be good. And Erica, let your daughter be married and encourage them to stick it out.
Oh well, no, she is married. I'm happy for her. I haven't said anything negative. I'm happy for my daughter.
When he mess up, that's the key. When her husband mess up, I want to hear you. See, you need to.
No. I don't say anything. She has to learn on her own.
I'm saying I need you to encourage them to stick it out. That's what I'm trying. I want you. That's the encouragement to you.
I'm not here to say anything, negative. I pray for her, and like I told her, I said you just got to make it work. I said you got to want what you want, and you have to make it work. I'm not here to be like, no, because I've seen the ups and downs between her and this, relationship overall. And I just sit back and I'm here to pick her up, pick those pieces up, give her a hug and say, well, you just got to figure it out. You just got to work through it.
You got to be there. You ever watch boxing?
Huh?
You ever watch a boxing match?
Yes.
When they get them in the corner and give them a little massage, a little water, wipe their face off and then push them back into the ring. That's what you got to do. You gotta,
and that's what she's doing now. She's fighting for her love. So, and that's what she wants to do. I'm happy for her. One day I will have my king. It's about having that great energy and just being in tune with yourself and being at peace with yourself. Not worrying about the outside entities or, what is being projected to you. But those are just my thoughts. Is how I feel. China homegirl, you gonna get that king. He's gonna come around you. I wouldn't worry about your clock ticking or any of those things. You put all that great energy out there. He's coming. He's right around the corner.
I appreciate that. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming.
Okay. Honey, I'm claiming it with you, baby. Look, the next time we gonna be married and on the island somewhere. Let me tell you, I'm gonna be somewhere.
Serving it up. Serving it up.
Yes.
So I normally don't do stage notes on a live broadcast, but can you ladies see the private chat?
No,
I cannot.
I can't see it.
So to your right, there's a thing that says private chat to the right. To your right, see it in the little corner over there on the side.
Okay, let's see.
I see a thing that says chat at the bottom.
Yeah, private chat. There's a private chat. There's a message in there. Kind of check that out. But we're gonna get while you guys, ladies are doing that.
Comments. Oh wow.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, those are
still single. Oh,
I don't see
yeah. Don't read the comments.
I'm not gonna read them.
Yeah, don't read the comments. So really quick, then we're gonna final thoughts. So in wrapping this up, it's been a great conversation, ladies. I really enjoyed you. I look forward to being on some future coming back to the show, and expressing your thoughts on future subjects. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to another great episode of Black Space Live. But before we go, final thoughts. We're going to give the final thoughts. We go back to Erica and then we'll go to China. Final thoughts, Erica, on the subject. Final thoughts. Go ahead.
Final thoughts, ladies. Sometimes we got to let our hair down. We can't always be tough. We don't always have to walk around. I got all these things and I'm independent. You got to break those layers down and let that man in. He needs to get to know you. He doesn't need to know the finances or the tangible items. He needs to get to know you and be at peace with yourself. Love on yourself. When you love on yourself, someone else will love you too.
China, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Reflect, self-reflect, hold yourself accountable. You can't hold anyone else accountable for what you've done. Love yourself. Love all of you. Date yourself. And just enjoy life. Don't worry about all of the little things. I know social media and there's so much, emphasis on money and status and things like that, but truly get to know people and just open up.
All right. And my final thoughts is we have to prioritize marriage in our community. We have to prioritize marriage. We gotta be practical about it. And on the note of practicality, time for my shameless plug. So I don't know if you ladies are on Clubhouse, but on Friday nights at 9:00, I have a discussion called The Practical Christian, in which I discuss everything from dating to politics to day-to-day life for Christians from a practical standpoint, from a very practical standpoint. And so join me, ladies. You're welcome to join the conversation. And as I have conversations with Nate to bring it onto the Black Space Live platform. But yeah, if you want some practical advice, come on, join the conversation. Fridays at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, Clubhouse. So it's been a great conversation. I've enjoyed y'all. Thank you all for joining. See you all, I think next week or Thursday, right here on Black Space. So thank you, and peace and hair greases. We are out. Ladies, stick around.